Hey everyone, what is going on? So we are doing more Fusion Cup battles against Trexler, and we're trying out Escavalier. Now this Pokemon has been requested, believe it or not, since it came out, since before my Tournament Cup video. So before I get started, I just wanted to let you guys know that as you guys know, I am attending the Orlando Mega Tournament. I'm going to be there from Thursday the 16th, I believe it is, to the 21st, Tuesday. So I'm not going to have a video like any day that week. I probably won't even have it on Wednesday because I'll be packing and getting ready. So I'm not going to have videos up for like that week. But then when we return, I'm going to have my Orlando Mega Fusion Cup tournament, as well as the new cup, February's Cup, which will probably be announced when I'm in Florida. So that's going to be super exciting, guys. Just going to be a little bit too late on it. We're not going to get videos right away, just because we will be in Florida, of course, having a good time, meeting all of you who attend. And don't forget, if you want my Surf Arena handshake badge, definitely come up and ask me for it, and I will be more than happy to give it to you if you are attending. Hopefully I can attend more Mega Cup tournaments in the future so I can give out the badge to more players, as well as GoFest. But either way, let's go ahead and jump into this video. So we're battling Trexler. His team is Alolan Sand Slash, Altaria, Wishcash, Noctowl, Escavalier, and Poliwrath. So he is trying out Escavalier as well. We talked about it for a little bit during the tournament yesterday, and my team is Noctowl, Escavalier, Shiftry, Cloyster, Alolan Marowak, and Wishcash. So I did switch out my Bronzong for the Escavalier. That was the only change I made to the team that I used in the tournament, just to try it out, just to see how it would do. Now, I did do a few trades. I had a few of the Pokemon, and I was able to get a few of them. This was the best one I got. It's not super great. It's okay. I think it has 6 attack, and then it has really good HP and defense. So it was like a rank in like, it was in like the 500. So it's not great, but it's the best one I could get. So I wanted to try it out. So one thing about Escavalier is that it is going to absolutely be melted by fire types. So that fire spin from Alolan Marowak, from Charizard, will absolutely incinerate it. So you do have to be careful. It is double weak to fire. That doesn't mean it's not good. You know, I definitely think it's a good Pokemon. Some of you probably think it's a good Pokemon because you've been asking about it. It will be that Cloyster that I used to win the Fusion Cup with. So I think Cloyster might see some backplay because of it, because it does have counter. It also has Aerial Ace and Drill Run, which is what I run. So it does beat grass types because of that. Shiftry, because of counter, it is super effective against Shiftry, right? And if your opponent has Venusaur, that Aerial Ace, which it gets to really fast, plus it's going to be resisting Frenzy Plant as well as Sludge Bomb. So yeah, really good Pokemon. It does have to watch out for the flyers like Noctowl and Altaria, because it is going to be neutral to Sky Attack. So that is one thing, because it is part bug, right? So it is neutral to it, and because it's squishy in the Great League, it's squishy in general, you do have to watch out for that. So is it the greatest Pokemon in the world? Well, let's just say this. I'm probably not going to be using it on my team in Orlando. That doesn't mean it's not good, though. I did enjoy it. I think the meta is really changing when it comes to this Pokemon, as well as Hydro Cannon in Polion when that comes out. I probably won't have a video of that for the Fusion Cup because I'll probably be covering February's Cup at that point. But I think the meta is changing because of that, and both of those might do pretty well against Cloyster. I know Cloyster resists Hydro Cannon from Empoleon, but if you have Flash Cannon, it's going to do a lot to Cloyster. So I don't really know, but I think Cloyster might want to take a back seat. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how popular Escavalier is. But overall, I did enjoy it. It does get to that Aerial Ace fast, as I said. It has a good attack. Aerial Ace not being the strongest move in the world, but it was definitely a fun Pokemon to use nonetheless. So we're going to bring in Noctowl right now against his Poliwrath. Obviously, when it comes to Escavalier, you do have to watch out because moves like Dynamic Punch are just going to be doing a lot of damage to Escavalier, because it is a Steel type, so it's going to be taking a lot of damage from that, and it is a squishy Pokemon. So right now he has his Noctowl versus mine. He will get off a Sky Attack, but we're going to be able to take it. I switch into Cloyster and just immediately go for the Icy win. I could have just won with Noctowl, but I don't know, I just went with Cloyster to win with Cloyster. Anyway, we do go ahead and pick up that one. So those were very good games. We're going to continue on. This is quite a lengthy video, so bear with me, guys. Let me know if you sit through the whole thing, and if you do, I certainly do appreciate it. So for the next match, I lead with my Wishcash, and he leads with his Noctowl. So, can we hit that Blizzard? Now, even if you hit a Blizzard against a Noctowl, Noctowl generally still wins this matchup, unless if like you use shields, like if shields are involved, but it will generally win. However, he will decide to shield that Blizzard, so that was a nice shield because Blizzard will still do a lot to a Noctowl, obviously. So Sky Attack comes out against my Wish Cache, and I get to the Mud Bomb, and I'm just going to go straight for another Blizzard, thinking maybe he won't want to go ahead and invest his second shield. He actually does. That wouldn't have knocked out Noctowl, and he would have been able to feint me anyway, so he still would have won, even if it went through. But at least we take both of his shields, so I was pretty okay with that. But I don't want to bring in Escavalier because a counter is going to be neutral to Noctowl, which is good, right? But you do take a lot, as I said, to Sky Attack, which is not good. And flyers are really big in this cup, so that's the problem, or at least one of the problems that I see Escavalier having, as well as fire types. Luckily for me, Trexler didn't have a fire type on his team. But outside of that, I think most people probably will. I could be wrong. But it is a Noctowl mirror match right now. I am going to go for my Sky Attack. He is out of shield, so that's one thing to keep in mind. And we will knock out that Noctowl, so I'll take it. We are up one shield at this point in time. He brings in his, and that count is just doing a good amount of damage to me, actually, because as I said, we are neutral. But we're about to see how much Sky Attack does. As you can see, it does a lot. It doesn't knock it out, but it does a lot. So we switch into Escavalier. I am going to go ahead and shield this one up. It is going to be that drill run. I'm not actually sure how much damage that does. So we could have taken it, I'm pretty sure. But as you can see, now he brings in Altaria. And Altaria's Dragon Breath, even though we resist it, is still doing a lot of damage to Escavalier. And these aerial aces are not doing much because they're just not a strong move. They get to it fast. He'll get to it fast, but it's just not a strong move. So we do go down, and then Noctowl goes down. So he will go ahead and win that one. Another problem Escavalier has is none of its moves, at least none of the ones I'm using, counter, as well as Aerial Ace and Drill Run, are stab, so they don't benefit from the same attack bonus. That doesn't mean they're bad. So we're going to jump in against Poliwrath. We do have that Aerial Ace, so I guess that's why he's switching out into his Noctowl. I am going to pull the switch into my Cloyster, and this is definitely positive for me because Cloyster is an Ice type, and will be lowering his Sky Attack. I will shield the first one up because that's when his most powerful Sky Attack will come. After this, the Sky Attacks will be debuffed, so that's why I blocked the first one, although he does let it go, so it doesn't really matter. We're not going to get another Sky Attack from that Noctowl in this game. So that Poliwrath will be coming in, and this is not a good matchup for Poliwrath. Actually, I decided to let this attack go thinking it was a bait. It wasn't, so he does get me with the Dynamic Punch, so that's really unfortunate for me. I guess I could have shielded it. I didn't want to waste my shield. I was relying on the fact that it was a bluff, but it wasn't. So I do go for the Aerial Ace against his Poliwrath. He will shield that one up. Totally fine. I switch into my Noctowl because I know Noctowl can take an Ice Punch, but he switches into his Altaria. So I'm going to just go ahead and go straight for that Sky Attack against the Altaria. And he'll let it go through, doing a decent amount of damage. And yeah, we'll see what happens. He does decide to go ahead and go for a charge move of his own. Going to be that Sky Attack. And then we're going to get to another Sky Attack of our own. So keep on going back and forth, right? So he does shield that one up though, so he is currently out of shield. I still have one shield. I was trying so hard to get to my Sky Attack. Unfortunately, I couldn't, and I don't shield because I'm not confident that I could reach it. So I do bring in my Escavalier, and he switches into his Poliwrath to get off a charge move. I do go ahead and shield it. It will be that Ice Punch. I was kicking myself because I knew it would be Ice Punch. But I shielded it anyway. I knew it was going to be Ice Punch. So what I do is I deliberately get the Great so I could farm down this Poliwrath so I could have enough or almost enough for an Aerial Ace so I could finish off this Altaria because I wanted to be able to finish it off. So we do go ahead and take that one even though I probably shouldn't have shielded that Ice Punch, but we still go ahead and take that game. So that was a very good game, a very close game. So we're going to jump into another one. And I am going to lead with my Escavalier. He will lead with Escavalier as well. And we're just going to town against each other, maybe seeing who has the better Escavalier. He does get off his Aerial Ace first. So I do let this one go through. I was curious how much it would do. It does do a good amount. It was actually a CMP tie. And I'm going to go ahead and go for my Aerial Ace right now, and he will shield that one up. It makes sense because he wanted to be ahead, and then he's able to farm me down. And I look what I have in the back, I'm like, uh-oh, both of these are weak to counter. So bad team composition on my end. He's just going to get off an aerial ace. I'm going to shield it, but he's just going to eat away at me with counters. I charge up a little bit of extra energy, but those counters, as you can see, just do a lot of damage. That's what I'm talking about. Now, he doesn't have a grass type on his team, so obviously Escavalier can't really benefit from that if you're going up against a grass type. He does have that Sand Slash, although he doesn't bring it, probably because of the Escavalier. He's probably too afraid of it. Totally makes sense. So I'm going to go for the Icy Wind, and we do get the debuff, which is always nice. I go ahead and let this one go through, hoping it's a bluff. It's not. We actually survive it because of the Icy Wind, but it doesn't matter because he's able to feint me anyway. So I bring in my Shift Tree. This one I'm going to have to shield if I want to stay alive, so I do go ahead and shield this Ice Punch, and just charging up a little bit extra, we do go for that Leaf Blade. Wasn't sure if this would knock it out. It actually does. And then he brings in his Altaria, and we do have a Foul Play, but it's just not going to be enough. Yeah, that Escavalier really ate away at my Shift Tree. And yeah, so good games. Not the best team composition because he had that Escavalier, but that's okay. So we're going to jump into the next game. I do lead with my Wish Cache, and he'll lead with his Escavalier. So, okay, let's see how this works. I'm just going to go ahead and charge up. Charge up to a Blizzard, and we're probably going to fire back-to-back Mud Bombs. Let's see what happens. He will hit me with an Aerial Ace, so we're going to be able to take that, of course. And then we're going to get off a Mud Bomb. So let's see how much damage this does. Well, he's actually going to shield it, but we get off back-to-back Mud Bombs. So I was actually surprised he shielded that, but I was actually kind of happy. At least we took an early shield. So we're going to try and get to another one. Can we? We can before he feints us with Countess. So I'm like, okay, he has energy stored up. Maybe he'll shield this and try to feint me down, which is exactly what happened. Actually, I guess it was a CMP tie. So he does hit me with the Aerial Ace and knock me out, but we took both of his shields. So I would consider that a win for me because we do take both of his shields. We bring in a Alolan Marowak and immediately burn him alive. No, we delete him. And he's going to bring in his Wish Cache. I'm just charging up for the Shadow Ball. I do go ahead and shield this one. We would have lived it, but I do shield it anyway because it would have done a good amount of damage. So we do go for that Shadow Ball. I know it's going to do a lot. It's not going to knock out the Wish Cache, but it's going to do a good amount of damage. So we're actually going to go ahead and switch into Escavalier, trying to feint him down, but he does pull the switch into his Altaria. So I am charging up energy, and we do go for the Aerial Ace. So we should have... I don't think we have back-to-back Aerial Aces. Let's see. No, we have to get a couple more counters to get another Aerial Ace. That's okay. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Aerial Ace right now. And the damage does add up. He does get off a Sky Attack, which I know is going to knock me out. Because as I said, squishy and neutral. Actually, it doesn't knock me out. Maybe he did that on purpose. Because I feel like that should have knocked me out. He might have deliberately did that on purpose so he could farm more. And if that's the case, that's a good play. So he's able to get to a Sky Attack, so he's going to take my last shield. I feel like that should have knocked me out, so maybe he only went for a nice. Not really too sure. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and use the Bone Club against this Altaria, hoping that it would knock it out. It actually doesn't, but like one more or two more Fire Spins will. And then he brings in his Wish Cache. I'm like, oh man, I was going to go for the Shadow Ball. But I couldn't get to it. The Bone Club would have knocked him out too. I didn't realize how low he was. I was just going for the Shadow Ball. My mistake. That's okay. He does win that one fair and square. So for the next game, he leads his Wish Cache, and I'm going to lead my Escavalier this time. And we're going to see how things play out. He will go for the Mud Bomb. I'll let it go through. As I said, it is going to be Mud Bomb, and then we're going to charge up to the Drill Run. I do go for it just because I'm curious how much it would do. I'm not sure which is better to go for, Drill Run or Aerial Ace in that scenario. But yeah, we're just practicing. I didn't really look at like the Sims when it comes to Escavalier. I'm just practicing with it, just using it. I do like it. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. And you'll probably definitely see it in another video or two before the next cup. If it's eligible in the next cup, I might use it. You never know, right? So we're going to go for a Drill Run. I don't know. I go for the Drill Run. He does go ahead and shield it, so it didn't matter what attack. I couldn't have gone to 2 Aerial Aces, so it didn't matter what attack I went for. So we're going to bring in Noctowl. Definitely favorable for us because that Sky Attack is neutral. He brings in his Altaria, but we're up on energy, so I'll definitely take it. We do go for the Sky Attack right now. He will let that one go through, and he'll get off a Charge Attack. And are we going to shield it? Yes, we are. We decided last second to shield that. So that's fine. And I'm going to charge up to another one, and I do let it go. So this is going to be a sky attack, of course. Let's see if he shields it. He does. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Wish Cache, trying to get to a Blizzard. I knew I could get to it because he's able to get to a sky attack, but it's not going to knock me out. And I'm going to be able to get to a Blizzard, which will knock out the Altaria. So that's good for us. So we're able to knock him out with a Blizzard. Couldn't go for the Mud Bomb, unfortunately. But we're actually... we do get to the Mud Bomb, but unfortunately he is able to get to a charge move, which is going to be Aerial Ace, and that will knock us out. And then I bring in my Noctowl, and I knew I could... Well, he's not going to go for the Drill Run. I knew I could take an Aerial Ace. So all I have to do is take the Aerial Ace, hope he doesn't have enough for another one, or can he get to another one? He can't. And we do get to that Sky Attack. So that's going to be able to knock out Escavalier. So we do go ahead and win that one. So yeah, at the end of the day, I do like Escavalier. It is squishy, and it does have weaknesses in this cup, but it also has strengths as well. It will beat the ice types. It will be really strong, like against the Molten Sandslash, against Cloyster. So some people may not opt to bring them. So it is really strong. It could lose a lot too. So, I don't think it's going to... I think it changes the meta a little bit because people have to take it into consideration, but I don't think it's going to be like a dominant Pokemon in the meta. It's not like a Pokemon everybody has to bring, right? So right now I have my Alolan Marowak against his Escavalier. We do ultimately have to shield this Drill Run if we want to stay alive. I don't actually know if that one-shots me, but it would do a lot of damage. It probably would one-shot me. I never took it, so I don't know. He brings the Noctowl, which is really unfortunate for us, but I did store up a lot of energy, so we're going to be able to hit him with the Shadow Ball, and we're going to be able to try and get to another Shadow Ball. He's actually really low, so that's another good thing for us. We did take that Sky Attack. We're able to get to another Shadow Ball. And this Shadow Ball, I don't think knocks it out. No, it does not. We switch into Cloyster, which Cloyster will be able to finish it with an Ice Shard, or a couple Ice Shards. Then he brings in Altaria. We know he has to shield this Icy Wind. But I'm okay with that because that lowered his attack. Now, can we get to another Icy Wind before we get knocked out? We get to it, but he's actually able to get to his first. So really nice counting on his end before my Cloyster can get it off. Really nicely played. So we do have the Escavalier right now, trying to get to the Aerial Ace. We could have survived a Sky Attack. I'm pretty sure at this range we could have definitely survived one, but we're able to finish him off anyway. So we do go ahead and take that one with Escavalier. So thank you for the help, buddy. Thank you. So let's jump into another game. As I said, this is a relatively lengthy video. I think it's about 28 minutes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a little bit less. Let's see. So he leads Noctowl, I lead with Wish Cache, and I'm just charging up straight for the Blizzard. I'm not going to shield this. I decided to go for the Blizzard again because I'm like, well, earlier I went for double Blizzards and he shielded. Maybe he'll think that I'm bluffing him this time because he shielded earlier, and maybe he won't shield this one, and I was correct, so he does not shield that, so that's good for us. We get to the Mud Bomb, wasn't able to get it off before he got off his, so he still wins despite us getting the Blizzard off. I mean, we could have shielded it and won, but I decided not to shield it. I do bring in my Escavalier and feint him down with Countess before he got to his Sky Attack, so that's good for us. Charging up quite a bit of energy, he brings in his own Escavalier, and I am going to go ahead and charge up a little bit extra and just go for that Aerial Ace. So yeah, he will shield that one up, totally fine. We're going to charge up some more. He does go for a charge attack. I do decide to shield it up because I want to get off another charge attack. We have energy ready to go. I do get off an Aerial Ace again, so let's see if he decides to shield this one. He does, so using both shields, I do go ahead and switch. He switches. That was a blind switch, and that was amazing for me. He has Poliwrath. I had my Noctowl. I know I could take an Ice Punch. I'm not going to go ahead and shield. We could take it really well. We could take 3 of those, or 2 of them. We could probably take 3. I mean, it would take 3 to knock us out, I guess. But either way, we get off that Sky Attack, immediately deleting the Poliwrath. He brings in his Escavalier, hitting us with an Aerial Ace, able to easily take it. As I said, that's why like Escavalier does struggle against the Flyers, of course, as it should, right? So that's going to be a big problem with it, and Flyers you're going to at least see one flyer. In some cases, in Trexler's case, he has both, so you might see that as well. So with Escavalier, a good teammate is definitely going to be an ice type, whether it be Cloyster or Alolan Sandslash or Frostlass. You definitely want to be able to hit Noctowl and Altaria for super effective damage, so that's definitely a good teammate to go into your games with if you're considering Escavalier. So we do go ahead and hit with a Sky Attack, doing a good amount of damage. I'll take it. He will hit me with a Blizzard. I was hoping for the bait, but I decided not to shield anyway because I'm like, I know Noctowl wins this matchup regardless, unless if he decides to shield. So even if he hits me with a Blizzard, we're still going to win. He does end up deciding to shield and then just comes in and feints me with Escavalier. But I bring in my Alolan Marowak and we can immediately delete him. The problem with Alolan Marowak when it comes to Escavalier is he will be able to get to a drill run and you're going to really want to shield it, right? So with Charizard, you don't really have to shield that because it's a flying type, but with Alolan Marowak, you do. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So he does bring in Noctowl, definitely going to get out, but unfortunately it's into Escavalier. As I said, you don't want to go up against the Noctowl with it, but at the same time you don't want to have an Alolan Marowak against the Noctowl either, right? So we will go for the Aerial Ace, and that will be met with a shield. A little surprised he shielded, but I guess it makes sense. He was in a really comfortable position. He will go ahead and go for the Sky Attack against me, doing a lot of damage, not knocking me out, but it did a lot. He switches into Whiscash, and I'm going to bring in my Alolan Marowak. This is not going to knock me out, but it's going to do a lot of damage. I was just trying to feint him at this point so I could have like a Shadow Ball against... a couple Shadow Balls against the Noctowl. Maybe I could do something, but I wasn't able to before he got off a Mud Bomb. So he's going to be able to take that game. So really good game. We played quite a bit. We had a lot of great games. I appreciate the battles, man. So we're going to lead with Escavalier against his Poliwrath. Not favorable for us. Well, I mean, we do have the Aerial Ace, so that's good, but the Dynamic Punch does a lot of damage. So I do switch into Noctowl because, as I've mentioned before, I know I could take an Ice Punch really well. So we do go ahead and take it, and he switches into a Noctowl of his own. We're up energy, though, so I am going to go ahead and go for my Sky Attack against his Noctowl. It does do a good amount of damage. He does get off a Sky Attack. I was pretty sure I could live this. So I do let it go through. We do live it. I just wasn't sure if I could make it to a Sky Attack, but we do make it. So I do go ahead and get to that Sky Attack, and we're going to let it go into his Noctowl, but he will go ahead and shield that. Totally fine. I do have the Cloyster and the Escavalier. I will bring in Cloyster, of course. He will let a Charge Attack come at me, but I am going to go ahead and shield it up. It is going to be that Sky Attack. He will switch into Poliwrath, which is not good with Dynamic Punch. I decide to call his bluff, and again, it doesn't work out for me, so not really a great situation, not a great game for me. Probably should have shielded it, but again, Cloyster is not good against Poliwrath. That is another counter to Cloyster is going to be that Poliwrath, Heracross, right, Escavalier, so anyway, we do have the Whiscash against my Escavalier. I'm going to go ahead and shield it. I'm not giving up just yet, but I know it's over. He's still up a shield. My Escavalier is not going to be able to pull it on home. We go for the Aerial Ace. He is not going to shield it. He knows he can take the attacks. So yeah, the attacks are weak unless they're doing like super effective damage. That's another thing. Besides Count, I mean Count is strong, but so we do knock out Noctowl. Buddy brings in his Whiscash. Going to be able to go ahead and go for the Mud Bomb, which should knock me out, as it does. And that will be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for checking out my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, check out one of my other videos that you'll probably enjoy.